Ailahe Balaram Hailo Nitai. That the son of Sachi is non-different from the son of Nanda Maharaj, and Balaram has come as Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda is non-different from Lord Balarama, and he has come to take part in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When the Supreme Lord comes, he does not come alone, but he comes with all of his different associates. So in previous incarnation, particularly in the Dwapara, in the Treta Yuga, in the time of Lord Ramachandra's incarnation, the Lord expansion came as a younger brother. Lakshman was the younger brother of Lord Rama. And as Lakshman, he endured many difficulties trying to serve the older brother. If you have an older brother, maybe you know how difficult it can be sometimes. You know, you have to do whatever the older brother says. And you have to, he's the authority, and you have to do what he wants. So it was very difficult for Lakshman. He couldn't serve Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra would not accept any of the service of Lakshman practically. Lord Ramachandra had certain things he wanted, and he wouldn't allow Lakshman to just serve him as he would like to. So Lakshman vowed, in future incarnations, I'm not coming as the younger brother. I'll come as the older brother. And so he came in Dwapara Yuga as Lord Balaram, the older brother. And similarly, when the Lord came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda is somewhat older than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, they did not appear in the same family. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Mayapur, but Lord Nityananda, he appeared in Ekachakra Dham. Ekachakra is in the region which is called Radha Desh. It means the place where the Ganga does not flow. Just like if you go to Ekachakra, you can see it's very dry. There's no Ganga there. So the only time they can do farming is this time of the year, when the rain comes. With the monsoon coming, then all the farmers there in Ekachakra and Radha Desh, they'll be very busy preparing to plant the fields, to grow the rice. So Lord Nityananda, when he appeared in Ekachakra Dham, at that time Ekachakra was very, very prosperous. It was very wonderful. All the people lived very, very nicely. Because the Lord himself has come, Lord Nityananda has come, and because he's coming there, the goddess of fortune bestows blessings on all the inhabitants. So Ekachakra was a very beautiful, very prosperous village in the times of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda appeared there, the son of a Brahman named Harai Pandit or Harai Oja. And the mother was called Padmavati. So Lord Nityananda was their oldest son, and they loved him dearly. They were very, very deeply attached to Lord Nityananda. They could never let their son go out of their eyesight. Wherever they went, they would have to see Lord Nityananda with the name. Of course, he was called Nitai. And they would want to see Nitai all the time. However, well, Lord Nityananda, he was enacting his childhood pastimes there in Ekachakra. And with all the children in the village of Ekachakra, Lord Nityananda arranged to enact all the different pastimes of the Lord and all of his different incarnations. And they would play and they would reenact how Lord Vamanadev came and took 3 steps of land and took away the kingdom from Bali Maharaj. And then they would enact Lord Nrsingadev coming and killing Hiranyakashipu. And then they would enact also Parasuram killing all the different Kshatriyas. And then they would enact all the different avatars. They would enact Krishna Leela, all the different pastimes. All the people in Ekachakra Gram were astonished. They said, how is it these children know all of these things? We don't even know about all these different pastimes. How is it they know? It's only because Nityananda was personally there to guide them and instruct them how to enact all the different pastimes. So Chaitanya Bhagavat describes on one particular occasion, the children were enacting the pastime of Lord Rama, fighting with Ravan. And Nitai was playing the part of Lakshman. And another boy was playing the part of Indrajit, the son of Ravan. And of course in the Ramayana it describes Indrajit threw an astra and it hit Lakshman in the chest. And Lakshman falls unconscious. So one of the boys in the village, he was Indrajit, and he took a lotus flower and he threw it into the chest of Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda fell down, and he fell down unconscious. And all the people, all the boys were shocked that, oh, something's wrong. He's lost consciousness. Lord Nityananda had fallen down. And all the elderly people, they all came, all the seniors in the village, they all came and they were all worried. What's wrong? Oh, what happened to Nitai? He's unconscious. What did you do? They said, I only hit him with a flower. How could he become unconscious? He got hit by a flower. They said, well, we were doing the drama. We were enacting the Battle of Lanka. And I was Indrajit, so I threw the weapon and it hit him in the chest. And then he fell down unconscious. So then one of the boys said, remember what Nitai said. He said that we should enact the whole pastime. So remember, the rest of the pastime is Hanuman has to go to Gangamadana mountain and bring the herb to revive Lakshman. So one of the boys was Hanuman, so he pretended to fly off and he pretended to fly back with the Gangamadana mountain, and then they got some herbs and then they put them in front of Nitai's nose, and as soon as they brought the herbs in front of Nitai's nose, then the consciousness came back and he opened his eyes. So all the people in Ekachakra were relieved. But it was just amazing to them to watch these children enact all the pastimes of the Lord. This was the real business of the children in the village. Nowadays, of course, they sit and watch television and they play computer games and all, so many things. But in the days of old, the children were brought up just simply reenacting all the pastimes of the Lord. And Lord Nityananda was personally guiding all the village children. So we were saying how his parents were very, very attached to him. So it happened that one day a sannyasi came there in the village of Ekachakra. And that sannyasi was invited by Harai Pandit. He was invited to their home to take food. So Harai Pandit told the sannyasi, he said, if there's any service I can do to help you, you please tell me. Whatever I will do, I will certainly try my best to help you. So the sannyasi said, oh, this is very kind of you, thank you. He said, before I go, if I need anything, I will request you. So the sannyasi took his meals there and he rested. And then after resting everything, then he was about to go and he said to Harai Pandit, he said, you said you would like to help me in my travels. And Harai Pandit said, yes. How can I serve you? What can I do to help you? So the sannyasi said, well, I'm traveling alone. And it's very difficult for me sometimes because I have to beg and I have to cook. And you know, sannyasi is not supposed to cook. But he said, if you give me your son, he could travel with me. he can come and visit all the holy places. I'm going to be going to all the holy places. So be very nice for your son. Anyway, he said, I need some assistant. So you would like to help me, so you give me your son. So this was quite a shock to Hari Pandit. You know, he didn't think the sannyasi would take his son away. Anyway, Hari Pandit had told the sannyasi that he would give him whatever he wanted. So he wanted to keep his vow. He wanted to be truthful, that he'd promised him to help him. So he talked to his wife, he talked to Padmavati, and he told Padmavati the situation. And so the mother of Lord Nityananda, she said, well, she said to her husband, do what you have to do. And so Hari Pandit told the sannyasi, all right, you take my son, you go, let him go with you. In this way, Lord Nityananda was able to be freed from the bondage of the family life. You see, mother and father were so attached to him, he couldn't do anything. But then the sannyasi came and he was able to go with the sannyasi. And the sannyasi took him to visit all the holy places. They traveled everywhere. They went to Badrik Ashram, they went to Rameshwaram, they went to Dwarka, they went to Puri, they went all over the planet, all over Bharatvarsh to see all the holy places. And they traveled for many years. After some time, of course, they came to Vrindavan. And it was in Vrindavan, Lord Nityananda was staying there for some time in Vrindavan. But he was worried, he was confused. Actually, he said that, where is Lord Krishna? That I have come here in Vrindavan, I do not see Krishna anywhere. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna gone? The temples, I don't see Krishna in the temples. Where is Lord Krishna? And he was told that, oh, you don't know? Lord Krishna has appeared in Navadvip, and he is enacting his pastimes there in Navadvip. So in this way, Lord Nityananda left Vrindavan and he came to Navadvip, because in Navadvip was his brother Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Nitai was united with Nimai. So, but there's a nice pastime describing how Lord Nityananda came to meet up with Nimai. Lord Chaitanya, he was there in Mayapur with the devotees, and one day he told all the devotees, he said, I had a dream that my brother was coming here, a wonderful personality, like my older brother, that he's going to come here. So all the devotees heard it, but they did not take it very seriously. But then the next day, Lord Chaitanya told all the devotees that I told you this great personality is coming to Mayapur. He's already here. I want you to go and bring him to me. And he asked Haridas Thakur and Srivas Pandit to go and find him and bring him. So the whole day, Haridas Thakur and Srivas Pandit went looking to find this great personality. And they went everywhere. They went all over Mayapur. They went to all the houses. They went to the homes of all the devotees. They went to the homes even of the non-devotees. They even went to the homes of the Chandalas. They could not find any great personality anywhere. So after many hours of searching, then Srivas and Haridas, they came back to tell Lord Chaitanya that we looked everywhere. We cannot find the person you're talking about. So Lord Chaitanya laughed. He said, I will take you to him. See, it's the nature of the Lord that he reveals himself when he wants. He can cover himself when he wants, and he can reveal himself when he wants. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought all the devotees, and he led them to the home of Nandan Acharya. And it was in the home of Nandan Acharya, the devotees were astonished to see this wonderful personality. Tall, with long arms down to his knees, with lotus eyes, very broad shoulders, and he was sitting and chanting the holy name in great ecstasy. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the devotees, when they met, first of all, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they embraced each other because they were being reunited. They were two brothers in their previous incarnation, and now again these two brothers had been reunited. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from Lord Nityananda that, where have you been? And Lord Nityananda described that, I have been visiting all the holy places. Actually, Lord Nityananda is, we said, none different from Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram also had gone to visit all the holy places. Lord Balaram did not take part in the battle of Kurukshetra. He said, I will not take part in this battle. Instead, he went off to visit all the holy places. So when you visit the holy places, you know, you go to a holy place, you always think, oh, it would be so nice to go again to visit this place. Just like you go to Mayapur or Vrindavan, you think, oh, I want to go back and visit again. And so the same way, Lord Balaram came as Lord Nityananda, and he got the opportunity to go and visit all the holy places again. But still, he wanted to find Lord Krishna. And he had heard that Lord Krishna had appeared in Navadvip, and they were performing the Sankirtan pastimes. So in this way, Lord Nityananda had come to Navadvip to join with Lord Chaitanya and take part in Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya, on meeting Lord Nityananda, he wanted to reveal to everyone the exalted position of Lord Nityananda. So he requested Srivas Pandit, recite some sloka about the glories of Vrindavan Dham. So Srivas Pandit would recite a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam describing the beauty of Lord Krishna as he enters the forests of Vrindavan, as he decorates the earth with his lotus footprints and he plays on the flute, that it is so enchanting. It attracts people, it attracts the demigods, it attracts living entities all over the creation. So when Srivas Pandit was singing this verse, then immediately Lord Nityananda's bhava was aroused and he experienced great ecstasy. He began to cry, and tears came from his eyes like a river. He began to tremble, his hair stood on end, and he rolled on the floor. And seeing his display of ecstatic symptoms, then all the devotees who were with Lord Chaitanya, they could understand the exalted position of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda was the very intimate associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya had requested Lord Nityananda that he should go to every home and every door, and he should beg people In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, it describes Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. That go to every home, fall at the feet of the people and request them to chant the holy name of Krishna, to worship Krishna, and to read the books about Krishna. So in this way, Lord Nityananda would go, and he was going along with Haridas Thakur. Usually when you go for preaching, it's not a very good idea to go alone. It's always better to have somebody with you. So Lord Nityananda went with Haridas Thakur. But Haridas Thakur would complain sometimes that, you know, I'm going with this Nityananda. He's like a madman. Sometimes he will go and swim in the Ganga even where there are crocodiles. And sometimes he will go to a Muslim girl and he will ask the Muslim girl to marry him. And he will do many unusual, strange things. And of course, Lord Nityananda even went to Jagai and Madhai, who were the most fallen and sinful people. But Lord Nityananda has the mood of a preacher, that he doesn't want to do something small. He wants to do the best thing for Lord Chaitanya. He thinks if Jagai and Madhai can be made devotees, then everyone will know the glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so of course Lord Nityananda, he was struck on the head by Jagai and Madhai. One of them took a wine pot and hit him on the head because they were drunk. And Lord Chaitanya became very angry and he was going to kill Jagai and Madhai. But Lord Nityananda pleaded for mercy and told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that in this age we have to be tolerant because people are very fallen. You will see in the Dwapara Yuga, in the previous Yuga, Lord Balaram came in Naimisharanya and took a kusha grass. And with the kusha grass, he pierced the heart of Ramaharsha and Sutta for his offense. But in the Kali Yuga, even after he had been assaulted violently, he pleaded for mercy and compassion on Jagai and Madhai. So this is the greatness of Lord Nityananda, that he is the deliverer of the most fallen souls. And he would regularly go and preach to the fallen souls. Of course, Lord Chaitanya, he took sannyas. But and when he took sannyas, Lord Nityananda also went with him. He went there to Katwa and he saw the sannyasi ceremony of Lord Chaitanya. And he went with Lord Chaitanya. First of all, Nityananda tricked Lord Chaitanya to go to Shantipur. Lord Chaitanya was thinking he was going to Vrindavan. But Lord Nityananda said, yeah, this is Vrindavan. Actually, the side of the Ganga, one side is the Yamuna and one side is the Ganga. So on one side where the Yamuna flows into the Ganga, he told Lord Chaitanya, this is the Yamuna. Actually, it was the Ganga. But he's saying, well, this side is the Yamuna. And the Yamuna, it means you're going to Vrindavan. So you follow the Yamuna. But they came to Shantipur. So Lord Chaitanya was not so pleased with Lord Nityananda that you told me this was Vrindavan. So then Advaita Acharya said, wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. Because the Lord never leaves Vrindavan. So then when they were going to Puri, Lord Nityananda then broke the danda of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was carrying the sannyasi rod for Lord Chaitanya, but he broke it into three and threw it away. So after some time, Lord Chaitanya said, where's my danda? Where's my sannyasi danda? And Lord Nityananda tried to make an excuse. He said, oh, don't you remember? We were having kirtan and you jumped up and you fell down on the danda and broke it. Actually, it is said that when Lord Nityananda broke the danda into three, he was showing two purposes. One purpose was that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't need a danda because he's the Supreme Lord. He's above all varnas and ashrams, and he doesn't need to carry a sannyasi rod. And the other thing is, he's not a Mayavadi sannyasi. He was carrying an ekadanda. So by breaking it into three, Lord Nityananda was showing he's actually a tridandi sannyasi, not an ekadandi sannyasi. He's a Vaishnava sannyasi. So Lord Nityananda would often go there to Puri. However, Lord Chaitanya told Lord Nityananda that you don't need to come here to Puri every year. You should stay in Bengal and preach. So Lord Nityananda, however, he doesn't always listen to, because he's the older brother, right? So he doesn't have to do everything Lord Chaitanya says. And still he would come there to Jagannath Puri. Lord Nityananda, being non-different from Balaram, it said Lord Balaram, he had two wives. Lord Balaram's two wives were Revati and Varuni. So these two wives, they came again as two sisters. And these two sisters became the wives of Lord Nityananda, Janava and Yashoda. They were both married to Lord Nityananda. And from Yashoda, then there was one child, Virbhadra, the son of Lord Nityananda, and he was a great preacher, a very powerful preacher. He converted many Buddhists into Vaishnavas. So we were saying Lord Nityananda was very expert in preaching and delivering the fallen conditioned souls. And there's an interesting pastime which describes how on one occasion there was a gang of thieves who were planning to steal all the wealth of the devotees. Lord Nityananda liked to decorate himself with many different ornaments and jewelry. He would wear necklaces and he had ankle bells and wristlets and different things which he would wear. So there was a gang of thieves and they saw that Lord Nityananda and his devotees were carrying some different ornaments and jewelry. So this gang of thieves were planning to steal all of these ornaments. And they made arrangements. They waited for the night to fall. They were sitting, waiting. They said, we'll wait till it gets dark. When it gets dark, then we will go there and we will steal everything from them. So the thieves were waiting, but what happened was they were waiting for the night to come. They fell asleep and they didn't wake up until the next morning. When they woke up, they saw the sun is rising. And when they saw the sun is rising, then they thought, oh, we have missed our opportunity. We will have to go away. We will come back another time. So they went away, and after some time, after some days, they came back again. But this time when they came back, they saw that the devotees had some guards around their camp. And the guards were huge. They were very strong, physically powerful men. And they had big kuntimala around their necks. And they had tilak on. They were Vaishnavas, but they were big, strong men. And the thieves saw them and they thought, oh my goodness, they've got these guards. We will never be able to steal anything with these guards there. We better not try to do anything today. We'll go away. We'll come back another time. So the thieves left. And after some more days, they came back again. And this time, they said, this time we're going to do it. We're going to get in there today. We'll steal the jewels. We'll get everything. We'll get all their jewelry. They waited. And then just as it was becoming dark, then they began to enter towards the camp. But just as they entered towards the camp, suddenly the sky changed and became very dark. And the thieves were coming, and they were blinded by the darkness, and then these heavy big lumps of ice were falling on them. They couldn't see where they were going. Into the garbage pit. Some of them broke their limbs. They were crying. They were suffering so much. So after this happened, the leader of the thieves, the head of the dacoits, he came there to Lord Nityananda, and he surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Nityananda is no ordinary person. He must be a very great personality. He must be a divine person. And the head of the dacoits, he came and he surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. He told him, he said, we wanted to steal from you. We say it's impossible. We cannot steal anything from you. We want to surrender. We want to become your followers. So Lord Nityananda gave them shelter. He accepted them as his followers. And he told the head of the thieves, he said, now you go back and you preach to all the other thieves and make them also devotees and bring them to me. So in this way, many, many people got the mercy of Lord Nityananda. They were brought to Krishna consciousness by his grace. Lord Nityananda also returned to the place of his birth, Ekachakra. And there he found one deity of Krishna, which is still worshipped today. The deity is known as Bankim Rai. Lord Nityananda pulled this deity out from a river which flows there in Ekachakra, and he established the worship of Bankim Rai. Lord Nityananda, it is said Lord Nityananda also finished his pastimes by entering into the body of the deity Bankim Rai. So it's the oldest, the original temple there in Ekachakra Gram. But Lord Nityananda, generally he traveled all over Bengal preaching the glories of Lord Chaitanya and bringing people to Krishna consciousness. And even today, if you take the name of Lord Nityananda, everyone knows he is very merciful personality who gives everyone an opportunity to be freed from their sins and to come to the spiritual platform and engage in the service of Lord Krishna. So it is said, in order to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have to go through Lord Nityananda. You cannot go directly to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, and Lord Nityananda, he is like the spiritual master, the representative of Krishna. So before we go to, in order to get the mercy of Krishna, we have to go through his devotee. Just like we're singing every morning in the Guru Vastakam, by the mercy of the spiritual master, we get the mercy of Krishna. So there's a very important pastime in relation to Raghunath Das. That Raghunath Das was born in a very, very wealthy family. His father was maintaining all the brahmanas in Bengal by giving them charity. And Raghunath was his son. And Raghunath was he was eager to join Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. He wanted to be a devotee, a full-time devotee. Right? He didn't want to just live at home with his parents. He wanted to go off and be with Lord Chaitanya. So his parents had him married to a beautiful young girl, a very beautiful young woman for his wife. But still, Raghunath would try and run away from home. So the parents were thinking what to do. Maybe we should tie him up. But they said, what is the good of tying him up? He has wealth greater than Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, and he has a wife as beautiful as Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. If these things can't keep him at home, then how will some ropes ever keep him at home? Anyway, they had guards, they had many people looking after Raghunath. They would not let him go away from home. And even it's described, Raghunath went to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I want to be with you. I want to be with you and come with you. But Lord Chaitanya told him, no. He said, don't be a foolish person. Go home and behave like a normal person and keep Krishna in your heart. So Raghunath followed the instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He went home and he behaved like a normal person, but in his heart he was always thinking how to get the mercy of Krishna. That I don't want to live in this materialistic home with all the opulence, with all the wealth and all the beautiful ladies. I want to be away from that. So it happened that Lord Nityananda came to Panihati. Panihati is on the banks of the Ganga, not very far from Calcutta. You can take a bus from Calcutta to go to Panihati. We have an Iskcon temple there now. They've purchased some property there, and we have a center just beside the place where Raghunath Goswami met Lord Nityananda on the bank of the Ganga. So Lord Nityananda instructed Raghunath that I'm going to punish you today. I want you to put on a feast for all the devotees. And Raghunath was very happy to hear this. So he had to organize a big feast. And of course the feast in Bengal meant Shira Dahi. And you know, they got all the yogurt and all the dahi and all the shira, flat rice, and the bananas and papaya and mangoes, whatever was there. Raghunath would purchase everything. And even the people from neighboring villages, they heard, oh, there's a big festival in Panihati. Everyone came with their wares. They brought their fruits, they brought their yogurt, they brought their flat rice. Raghunath purchased everything. And then they arranged to wash the flat rice in the Ganga. And then they offered everything. And they had a big kirtan. And everyone could see how Lord Chaitanya was personally appearing there, mystically, in an unmanifest form. Lord Chaitanya appeared and danced with Lord Nityananda. And all the devotees relished the wonderful Shira Dahi that was arranged by Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das was praised by Lord Nityananda that you have done everything very nicely. And Lord Nityananda placed his feet on the head of Raghunath and he blessed Raghunath that very soon you will be freed from the well of materialistic life. So Raghunath was very happy to hear this, and he went home after Panihati festival. Every year, of course, they have the Panihati Shiradahi festival. You can go to Panihati, many people all come. We can also, you probably celebrate here. Do you all celebrate Shiradahi festival here? Very nice. So Raghunath went home and he was very careful. He was waiting for the right time to escape from home. He waited. One day the pujari, the family priest, could not come. And he asked Raghunath, go and get someone to do the Mangal Arti. So Raghunath understood, this is my chance. Early in the morning, people are not yet awake. And Raghunath was sent to go and find someone. He didn't go to find someone, he just left. He went and he took the road where nobody usually goes. He went on all the jungle paths. He didn't go on the usual path. He didn't go on the main road to Puri. He took all the jungle paths. And in this way they could not catch him. He escaped from home and he got to Jagannath Puri. After many days walking, he came to Jagannath Puri and he surrendered himself to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath that you're very lucky, that you were in a well. You were like a materialistic life is like being in a well of being a well full of stool and urine. And now you have been freed from that. You're very fortunate. And Lord Chaitanya instructed Swarup Damodar to take care of Raghunath. So Raghunath became known as Swarup's Raghunath. Raghunath was under the care of Swarup Damodar. And if he needed anything or if he had to ask anything, he would ask through Swarup Damodar Goswami. He would not approach Lord Chaitanya directly. So you can see how Raghunath got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya through Lord Nityananda. In the same way, if we want to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we have to get the mercy first of Lord Nityananda. And how do we please Lord Nityananda? We have to engage Jagai and Madhai. Lord Nityananda delivered the Jagai and Madhais. So if we also take up that work to go out and preach to all the Jagais and Madhais, then we will qualify for the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, then we can get the shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And from the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, then we can understand Radha and Krishna. So this is all very important, the role of Lord Nityananda in our Krishna consciousness movement is very, very important, very special day when we celebrate the appearance day of Lord Nityananda, which is on the Trayodasi day in the month of Falgun, is it, or month of Magh, before Gaur Purnima. Okay, so are there any questions? Anyone has any question or anything? Any time for Arti actually. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So for last 4 sessions we have been hearing nice Gaur Katha. Actually many times